A teenage boy is sitting in his biology class when a school resource officer pulls him out of the class and takes him into an office. The officer asks 10th grader Pistol Black if he had any way to get a hold of his mother, Patrice Endres. Pistol tries to call his mother, and he gets no response. Patrice Endres was extremely involved in her son's life, going to every meeting, every game, but now, nothing. Hello, my miracles, and welcome to another episode of Coffee and Crime, episode 58, The Salon in Georgia. So grab your coffee and let's talk some crime. Patrice had a passion to make people look and feel beautiful. Throughout her years, she would work in various salons until one day her dream came true and she opened her very own salon. Tamber's Tan and Trim Salon was located at 6195 Matt Highway, Highway 369 in Cumming, Georgia. By all accounts, her salon was the place to be. Her clientele became friends. Patrice made everyone feel special. However, all that changed on April 15th, 2004. A client arrived at the salon to find the salon empty with no Patrice in sight. That client called 911, and so began the investigation. It was discovered that money had been taken from the salon's cash register. Patrice's purse was sitting by the cash register, and it appeared that Patrice was getting ready to warm up her lunch. Also, her car keys were present. However, the odd thing was that her vehicle, which was always parked by the back door of the salon, had been moved to the front of the salon. Did she move it, or did someone else? Patrice's husband was at work when he heard the news of her missing. Rob Endres, her husband, was 50 years old when they first met. Patrice was only 30. The search continued. Did she just up and run away? Was she unhappy with her life? Her friends said Patrice would never, ever leave her son. Patrice had clients all that morning. At 8:30 a.m., Pam Shepard arrives for her appointment. Then, at 11:10, Paul Cantor arrives for his haircut. He left at 11:27 a.m. And at 11:35, a customer calls to change an appointment. That client states that Patrice was short on the phone, which was unusual. The call lasted about 2 minutes. Based on phone records, another call came in at around 11:50, which went unanswered. It was critical to find out what happened in those 13 minutes. Around 11:45, one witness says a Chevy Lumina was parked in front of the shop, and Patrice's vehicle was parked in front of the salon as well, not in her usual spot. She also stated that two ladies were outside beside the car, a tall, dark-haired woman and an older lady. Another witness stated that the vehicle was a Ford Taurus, possibly a Chevy Malibu, and he says it was a male standing by the car with shoulder-length hair. 20 months later, on December 6, 2005, Patrice was found. Her skeletal remains were found behind a church off of Kelly Bridge Road in Dawson County, Georgia, about 11 miles from her salon. Pistol was in his senior year of high school and received that dreadful call to the principal's office, where his father told him they had found his mother. And in that moment, hope came back. And just as fast as hope can come in, it left again. Patrice's remains had been found. His mother would never be coming back home to him. It's important to note that the relationship between Pistol and his stepfather, Rob, hadn't been good for a long time. And the day after Patrice went missing, Rob changed all of the locks in the house. Pistol then had to move back in with his father, Don Black. Don still spoke with Patrice every day after they ended their relationship, and when she went missing, he fell apart. Pistol had spoken to his mother a few weeks prior to her disappearance. She had talked about divorcing Rob. She hadn't been happy with him for quite a few years, yet Rob says that he was never aware of this. Rob said that him and Patrice would never argue. However, he says one of the things they struggled with was that Patrice never disciplined Pistol. He claims Pistol was jealous of their relationship. There had been a few suspects in Patrice's murder, including Gary Hilton, who had kidnapped and brutally murdered a woman. The police were not able to prove he was involved. But Pistol believes that Rob is responsible for Patrice's disappearance and murder. Others feel the same way. They believe that Rob found out Patrice was going to leave him, and he was not going to have that. What does Rob say about all of these accusations? He has no comment for people who think he killed Patrice, because he doesn't talk to those people. Rob states that he was home when Patrice went missing. Then he went to get gas and has a time-stamped receipt to prove it. He states it's physically impossible that he would be involved. Police created a timeline for Rob's whereabouts, and they state that they can neither deny or confirm his involvement. So here are my questions. If Rob says they never argued, why did he say that one of the struggles that they had in the marriage was the disciplining of Patrice's son, Pistol? Why did, after one day of Patrice being missing, Rob change the locks in the house, leaving a 15-year-old boy abandoned? Was this a random act by a random stranger? Was this possibly a robbery that went wrong? What happened in that salon? We may never know. Patrice's 1.5 carat pear-shaped diamond with 2 other 14-carat gold rings that were attached was never found. The wedding ring could be a clue to finding out who murdered her. If you have any information on this crime, please call the Georgia Bureau of Investigation's tip line at 800-597-8477 or go to unsolved.com. If you're interested in watching the episode on Patrice's murder, you can go to Netflix. It's on Unsolved Mysteries, Volume 1, Episode 2, titled 13 Minutes. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Coffee and Crime. If you did, click that like button. And if you're not a miracle and want to be, click that subscribe button and watch a miracle happen. I'm Miracle Girl for Coffee and Crime. I'll see you next time.